Hey people, how's it going? Been a while. Yeah, been a while. Well, I mean, not to compare to some others, but for me, it's been a while. It feels like a while. It's been probably only about 2 weeks, but still. How's it going? How are you? Miss you guys. Miss you. I'm in the middle of a album ranking, so that's why I haven't really come up with any content lately. But I thought, well, surely there must be something small I could do, and then I realised, it's been a while since a vinyl update. The last one right now currently has 7 views, so obviously they have a cult following. So let's continue that trend. Yeah, I just thought, why not? It's been a while, and I got a new phone, so I was like, let's see what this camera looks like. So yeah. Anyway, we're doing a vinyl update. We're just I generally keep them to 10, but this one's 11. Just cause why not? I have 11 new albums to show off. So let's just get straight into it for those that are interested. Yeah. They're gonna come out. Alpha. What was that? Oh, I need a haircut badly. They're going to come out in alphabetical. It's just obviously how they are on the shelf, so that's how they're going to come out in the video. The first one up is a re-release. None of them are original pressings or anything. I don't care about original pressings at all. First up, we've got Alestorm's third album, Back Through Time. This came out, I would say this came out. This came out in I don't know. When did it come out? 2011. Oh, wow. So it's 10 years old. Third album. It's a pretty fun album. I bought it via Napalm Records, obviously. I couldn't buy that anywhere in this country. It's a green and white, awesomely swirl. That's pretty amazing. That's half the reason why I bought it. Black Sails at Midnight, the second album, was also available in like a red and yellow and red swirl, but that's not my favorite album. So I was like, I don't really care about that one. So I just got this one, and I'm actually struggling to put it inside. There we go. Yeah, Back Through Time, awesomely fun, thrashy pirate album. They really stepped the game up, I reckon, with this album. And yeah, if you're interested, I know a self-plug. I ranked all of Alestorm's album. Go look them out. This one, somewhere up there. But yeah, Back Through Time from Alestorm. Very cool pirates. Now I know I literally just said that I bought that. I bought that, and I was going to buy album Black Sails as well, but the reason I bought that one is because this one was coming out. Seventh Rum of the Seventh Rum, Alestorm's brand new album, released literally the other week, June 24, 2022. So what's that? It's the 21st of July today, so it's almost been out a month, and at first I pre-ordered it, and weirdly enough, it arrived a lot faster than I thought it was going to. Normally these things take months to turn up, but this one took I don't know, 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks to turn up. So, stoked with that. Yeah. At first, when I heard the album, I wasn't the biggest fan of it, so I wasn't too disappointed when, for once, I didn't order a wooden box. I've got the last 3 wooden boxes from their last 3 albums. But now that I've listened to this a couple of times, it's grown on me. It's a cool, fun album, but it's nowhere near as awesome as No Grave But the Sea. That's a great album. This one, these albums, they get released in so many styles, and formats as well. Vinyl, CD, cassette, for some bizarre reason. I'm waiting for the 8-track to come back, I tell you. This one, something I've never heard of, is Glow in the Dark. It's a Glow in the Dark LP. So I actually have not seen it glow in the dark yet, but I mean, that'll be pretty fun, should it ever be played in the dark. Yeah, Seventh Rum of a Seventh Rum. Look at that album cover. I reckon it's not my favorite album, but it might be my favorite album cover by those guys. Very, very cool. All right, that's enough of the pirates. Now we're going back in time. Just some classics, So I was on the hunt for this album for literal months. When I ranked this band, I heard this album that you're about to see, and I wanted it straight away. I looked everywhere. I looked in local shops here. No luck. I was like, all right, let's branch out a little bit. I looked in Australian sites. No. So I was like, oh, okay. I looked on Amazon, for a decent one, because I like my stuff brand new. I don't like secondhand stuff. Still no luck. And I saw that it was available on Nuclear Blast, and I was like, oh, I really don't want to buy an album that should be able to be picked up anywhere. I don't want to buy it all the way from Europe. And then finally, my local shop stocked it, and that is Black Sabbath's Volume 4. I freaking adore this album so much. It's a great album. It's so fun. Is it a step up from Master of Reality? You could say it's kind of in the same bandwagon. I mean, it's definitely old school and classic like Master of Reality, and I think it's definitely up there with Paranoid and even the debut. Honestly, I was so happy to get this album finally on an LP. So cool. If you're a Black Sabbath fan, but you haven't listened to anything past Paranoid, I would try Volume 4. You'll be surprised. They recorded this in Bel Air in Los Angeles. It's got such a different vibe to it as opposed to the raw early Birmingham stuff. But yeah, honestly, so good. Wheels of Confusion, Tomorrow's Dream, Snowblind. Oh, great album. Volume 4. Go get it. Another Sabbath album. I'm slowly trying to build my Sabbath collection to the albums that are actually available. This one's a bit unorthodox, and I bought it because I think it was like $32, which for me is incredibly cheap. And it's not really it's not the best album. It's Never Say Die, and it's the last of the Ozzy albums before Ozzy left Sabbath. And like I say, it's not the best, but it's okay. Compared to Volume 4, yes, it's absolutely terrible. But still, it has some gems. It has some hidden gems. It's got no track listings on it. Of course it doesn't. That just shows you how unorthodox this album is. Okay, here it is. Never Say Die, the title track. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Johnny Blade's okay. Shockwave and Air Dance. Those two are cool as well. But yeah, other than that, literally, it's funny to hold up an album and say that it's not good. So it's like, well, if it's not good, why do you have it? It's not about that. It's about being able to have the power to say, hey, I have that on vinyl. No one else does, or whatever, But yeah, like I say, if you want to branch out and go listen to something a bit different, try this out. This one's a lot better than the album before, A Technical Ecstasy. That album was terrible. But yeah, Never Say Die. Really cool. No, I'm naturally saying that. It's not really cool. It's a bullshit of an album. Next two are from my favourite band in the world, and this one I saw that the local shop had it, and again, I'm 3 albums now, including this one. I'm 3 albums away from having the entire lot, and that honestly gets me so excited. It's not funny. This is Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. Oh, look at that glare, so glossy. I like a bit like Never Say Die, but not in the same category. This one isn't the band's best work, but it's still a cool album to chuck on, like once every 3 years, just to remind yourself why. Oh, okay, that's why it's not the best. But I mean, I ranked all of Maiden's albums and put this one quite low, but I mean, still, it's great. Pardon me, it's great to have. Be Quick or Be Dead is. Everyone seems to like it. I'm not too keen, From Here to Eternity, that's a cool song. Afraid to Shoot Strangers is really cool. One of the better songs from this album. Fear is the Key, Wasting Love, and obviously the title track, Fear of the Dark. We all love Fear of the Dark. But yeah, there are a lot of misses on this album, and there are only a few hits and misses. But yeah, it's a cool album. Give it some time. Obviously, if you've only listened up to Power Slave, would highly recommend you keep going. But yeah, this album's kind of cool. It's awesome. Like I say, it's another one in the collection, and that makes me happy. So yeah, Iron Maiden's Fear of the Dark. Another Maiden one coming up. I bought this one for my birthday again because it was on the shelf, and I was like, hey, and I do actually like this album much more than Fear of the Dark. But yeah, I was like, hey, I don't have that yet, and that is The Final Frontier. One of the better Eddies, I think. One of the more creative Eddies. It's pretty futuristic and pretty gnarly. But yeah, no, The Final Frontier is a sort of. It's an interesting album because it's got a lot of good songs on it, but then it also has some really big bombs. Satellite 15. What is that? The opener. It's interesting, but then it goes into The Final Frontier and it's a cool song. El Dorado, great. Mother of Mercy. That's one of my more weaker ones. Coming Home, The Alchemist, The Isle of Avalon. The Isle of Avalon. Give The Avalon a go, my guy. Literally, so good. Starblind? Nah. Talisman? Yes. And, of course, When the Wild Wind Blows and The Man Who Would Be King. Those two pretty much are just the great great ones on this album. Literally, it's a good album. It's nowhere near as good as obviously, the earlier stuff, but I think this is better than The Book of Souls and... obviously, Fear of the Dark, but yeah, it's not. Senjutsu is better than this, but still, Final Frontier is still a good album. Would recommend. Please go listen to it. It's good. Minus the obvious album that's missing from the collection of this next artist, I pretty much consider, now that we have this album, we pretty much have the whole thing minus their terrible album, and that is Metallica's Death Magnetic. Oh, and if you include Garage Inc. We don't have Garage Inc., but we don't have Saint Anger, and I'm not on the hunt for Saint Anger, and I don't really think I care about owning Garage Inc., but yeah, Death Magnetic. Again, in the shop, and was like, yo, okay. A pretty hardcore album. Is it up there with Hardwired? Nah, I think Hardwired is better than this, but I mean, there are still some pretty amazing classic tracks on here that we're all aware of, obviously. Like, obviously, The Day That Never Comes and All Nightmare Long. You know, we all know them. But then the ones that you need to listen to the album to get, obviously, The Judas Kiss. Wow. That was Just Your Life, the really cool opener. Cyanide, The Unforgiven 3. The Unforgiven 3, which doesn't really sound like it's related to the other two, but apparently. Yeah. Broke, Beaten, Scarred, End of the Line. Suicide and Redemption, the instrumental. It's a bit long, but it's okay. Yeah. Death Magnetic. I've played this album already. It's fun. It's a bit heavy. Obviously, it's heavy. It's Metallica, but yeah. No, it's a cool album. Another birthday present, because it was cheap. Ace of Spades is classic. Ace of Spades? What? Motorhead's classic Ace of Spades. You can't not have this on your shelf. Yeah, the album cover's a bit sketchy, but don't worry about it. It's a bit like Black Sabbath Sabotage. Just look past the album cover and go through all these awesome tracks. Like, literally, obviously, we got Ace of Spades. Duh. Love Me Like a Reptile. Shoot You in the Back. Live to Win. Oh, literally, We Are the Road Crew. Oh, man. Fire Jam, Tales by the Village, Has Better Than the Catch. Oh, it's such a fun album. It's just, you know, new wave of British heavy metal, just with a bit more girth and grit behind it, and it's just, obviously, it's like, you know, you could compare it to Venom, but not as satanic, obviously, but still, great album. Would highly recommend. Please, obviously, it's a cult classic. You have to check this out. Seriously, go do it. Now, I put my order in for this next album straight away when I saw that the shop was getting it. The shop ordered, like, 200 copies of it or something, because I'm pretty sure it was going to sell out straight away. And I'm pretty sure it might not have sold out, but, you know, let's just say every order that day was probably full of this album, and that is Slayer's magnum opus, Rain in Blood. Honestly, holy damn. I have the first two Slayer albums. They're amazing. We all know the cult status that this classic album holds. I couldn't believe it when he said, I'm getting this, and I was just like, oh yes, put my name down, and thankfully he provided. Other than, obviously, the song Raining Blood. Angel of Death, which has that incredible scream at the start of it. And, Angel of Death, yeah, it's about the Holocaust guy, isn't it? Yeah. Piece by Piece. Necrophobic. Altar of Sacrifice. I've always loved Altar of Sacrifice. That's such a cool song. Enter to the realm of Satan. Very, very cool. Jesus Saves is fun. Criminally Insane, Reborn, Epidemic, Postmortem, Raining Blood. You can't not love this album. You can't not own this album. It's honestly, it's up there with every other cult classic ever. You know, British Steel, Iron Maiden, the album, Number of the Beast, Black Sabbath, The Day, you know, oh, fucking so good. Literally, I'm going to put it down before I have a stroke. I saw a post for this album on Instagram, and it was like a, you know, top amazing artists with, you know, and their worst album or whatever. It was like a 9x9 grid or whatever, 3x3 grid. And I was like, this album was in there, and I was like, what? Randomly, we jammed this album, and it turned out that we loved pretty much, you know, 8 out of 10 songs or whatever it is. And I was looking for a vinyl version for a while, and I was like, keep an eye out. And then he randomly decided to re-release it for some weird reason. It's anniversary, like big anniversary. I don't think is for a while. But anyway, I'm rambling. Ozzy Osbourne, where's the glare? Black Rain. Honestly, I don't know why that person that posted that thing said that this is Ozzy's worst album. I mean, have you heard No Rest for the Wicked? Seriously, that's not a fun album for me. This album, though, as in terms of like 21st century Ozzy, it's so good. Literally. Not going away. I don't want to stop. Just that in itself. Yes, please. Black Rain, Lay Your World on Me is a bit... It's probably... I mean, not the weaker one, but I mean, it's the slower one, so it's still good. The Almighty Dollar, I love. 11 Silver, I love. Civilize the Universe, that's cool. I wasn't sure if he was saying civilize or sterilize when I first heard that song. Honestly, it's so good. Here For You, that's a beautiful song. That's up there with Dreamer off Down to Earth. Honestly, so good. Countdown's begun. And then Trapdoor. Trapdoors are funny. Every Aussie album has a weird song on it. Obviously, Blizzard of Oz has No More Bone Movies. Which albums? Oh, No More Tears has Zombie Stomp. You know, there's always an album with a weird song on it, and Trapdoor is this album's weird song, but it's still good. Anyway, and then there's Side D. I think the Side D is bonus songs. Nightmare, I Can't Save You, Love to Hate. Those three are pretty good. Yeah, honestly, I was so happy when this got re-released, and I didn't have to like buy it online or whatever. This was in my local shop. So really cool stuff. Ozzy Osbourne, Black Rain is Falling. And then the last one as well, which again was birthday present. My birthday wasn't that long ago; it was like a month ago, and this was just sitting there in the shop by itself. It was coloured as well, and I was like, "Oh, that's kind of neat that it's coloured. Not for too much. It was only like $45." Unto Others, and their beautifully gothic, melancholic goth music, Strength. This album is completely different to anything I've just shown earlier. It sort of reminds me of Typo Negative. It reminds me of Woods of Ypres, but it's a lot more simpler. It's not as electronic like Typo Negative, and it's nowhere near as depressing as Woods. But it's beautiful. Coming from a guy who loves extreme like power metal, high pitched squeals in their vocals and whatnot, it's quite nice to listen to an album with a really low vocalist. The song When Will God's Work Be Done? I heard that and I watched Banger TV, and one of them put this album in their top albums of the previous year, top albums of 21, and I was like, oh, okay, better check that out. And he wasn't wrong. It's good. Yeah, When Will God's Work Be Done? Downtown's fun. Destiny and Little Bird are beautiful. But yeah, this album is coloured, and it is, I think, the only one I have of this colour, and it's white. So that's fun. Pretty sure every other colour that I try to search now is just swirls. I think I have the rainbow, so that makes me happy. But yeah, that's what we've been buying lately. That was my most recent 11 purchases. I hope you had fun. I hope you watched it. Like, I love talking about music, and like I say, the last one got 7 views. Let's see if this one gets 7 as well. Let's see which one's more popular. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, team. Like I say, I'm in the middle of a ranking. It shouldn't take too long, but it's taking ages because of the kind of band. When you see that ranking, you'll understand what I mean. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Until the next video, stay inside, stay safe, listen to metal, hail Satan, and I will see you all later.